And I'm a conspiracy theorist, so let me ask you a hard question, though. We keep
Are we going to talk about cloud seeding?
No, well, we know cloud seeding. We know that. I think you guys they were just on Congress talking about, how that they can manipulate the weather. But no, I want to get into cloud seeding, but this is a hard question. You're going to be like, Alex, you're an idiot. But I do believe this. Nuclear weapons, and you can see the bombs that we just dropped. They're called the bunker busters. I think we dropped 14 of them. They're made by Boeing. They're roughly literally like $500 million. They're like $400 to $500 million, I think, per bomb. I think nuclear weapons are a lie, and that we have big bombs, but I think that they lie about nuclear weapons. Am I insane? Is that crazy? Is it tinfoil hat? Am I insane? Because listen to this. This is also why I believe it.
Are you talking about like the videos where they show the car?
Yes! Lauren, so I'm not crazy. I'm not that crazy. Why is the car missing, Lauren? You're in Congress. That's the official thing. Find out where that car is and why it's missing, Lauren.
I've seen it. And I get it. Actually, so I was just somewhere where they were showing missiles being launched from a submarine. I was actually really excited because I was on a part of a tour where they were talking about missiles being launched from submarines. I'm like, all right, I could get on board with submarines. Like, let's go. And then they showed a very high def video of the missile exploding from the submarine. I was like, wow, you're really close. The missile, how'd your video make it?
How does this? And now with the AI, and this is no disrespect to Israel, but they say that they have a bomb. I feel like they would use it if they had one. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying maybe.
No. I do believe that there is such a thing. I also believe that our government has lied to us in the past about many, many things. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm not saying if there was a car or there wasn't a car. If anybody sees the video, you know, right? If you know, you know. But I do believe that there was a threat of Iran having capabilities of producing severe damage. And I'm not denying that by any means. But, I wasn't alive back then, so I don't know. I wasn't alive either when we went to the moon.
And that was fake too. Thank you. No, time out, Congresswoman. Now we really can talk. Now we're vibing.
Oh,
First
God,
of all,
here we go. Denver Post, ready for this headline?
Real quick, 1969 through 1972, the Apollo moon missions. They were able to go through the Van Allen radiation belt. But let me just tell you, right now, we have the International Space Station. That is roughly 200.
It's not beyond the Van Allen radiation belt. It's within it.
The moon is past the Van Allen radiation belt.
No. The International
There's a hole
Space
in it.
Station.
You're right. No, the International. Yeah. So the International Space Station is roughly 200 miles from the surface of Earth. Now the moon is roughly 257,000 miles away. So this is 100 times the distance. Or what is 200 divided by 250? Yeah, about what is it? Whatever that is. It's 1,000 times the distance from the moon.
You got a GED. We don't need numbers.
I don't need. Yeah, this isn't a financial seminar. My point is, we were able to go to the moon 1,000 times farther in 1969. But the current technology that we have, we cannot go past low Earth orbit. Even Barack Obama said that, and that is the International Space Station. And half the time, we can't even go to the damn International Space Station because Joe Biden doesn't want to do auto pin and give him, an evacuation right out of there. So I think the moon landing's provably false. Am I smoking too much Delta 9, Congresswoman?
Alex, that's an interesting concept, and maybe we could have a classified briefing at some point. But I
would love that.
Certainly, I love to explore all the different things. Tucker Carlson once thought that Building 7 just collapsed, and now he says emphatically that he was a part of the propaganda that led to the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. Things change, facts change. That's why I love Jesus. I love the Bible because that is truth and that is everlasting. And that is something that will never change. God is not a liar, but there is a father of lies, and the Bible talks all about him. And unfortunately, we've seen time and time again where politicians are in office and deceive the American public. And so I don't know, have we been beyond the Van Allen radiation belt? Maybe.
I like that.
If so, I would like to know why it's taken so long to get back through it again. But here we are, and we'll see what Artemis and the Orion spacecraft have to do when they try to take a crude spaceship back out there in just a year or two.
Well, I just was at the Johnson Space Center doing a tour, and it was about $60, but it's still worth it. And the Artemis mission looks like a freaking, Armageddon looks like a movie set. But listen, we'll get into that.
Listen, Alec, I'm sorry, you can't do this to me. I just toured some stuff, and I'm not going to take the bait.
No, because NASA will end up like Gus Grissom, who was the original person that was supposed to go to the moon, and actually hung a lemon on the lunar lander. If you look up Gus Grissom, but no, I get it, Congressman. You're very popular. You don't need to be like me, a total tinfoil hat wearing. You've given us enough grace, and you've answered these questions very professionally, and I really, really mean and respect that you've given actual real answers to these hard questions. But now we talk about government transparency, this and that. Everybody's been getting mad about the Epstein stuff. I'm kind of the opinion, what are we going to see? Like actual physical sexual assault? We're not going to see that. I don't want to see that. What is there to see? That's what I'm saying. Like, what is there really even to see? That's where I'm kind of feel like we already know.
Anything anybody wants to see is the list. We want to see the list, period. I don't care what names are on it. I want to see what names are on it and why. So it's not a bipartisan issue. It is a bipartisan issue. And so I want to see what these folks were doing with Epstein. And I don't know. I mean, maybe the past administration has done away with the files, or maybe there's thousands and thousands of hours of video that they're going through, like we have heard as well. I certainly want these released. President Trump has done a great job of declassifying certain information, but also where has this information been in decades? Like through what hands has this information gone through when it comes to Martin Luther King Jr., when it comes to RFK and JFK? So there's still the element of, yes, we have a government that we should always question, right?
Yeah.
I'm a part of this system, and I question it daily. Even within my own party, there's things that we are doing. I mean, look at the House of Representatives. We are a majority rule self-governing body. That means whatever party is in the majority, we make up the rules. In fact, every day, if anybody watches C-SPAN on a regular session day when we're passing legislation, every day we actually change the rules of the House of Representatives to pass the bill that we're going to vote on. So just to bring that bill to the floor, we have a vote on the rule because we're changing the rules. And so in all of this, it's fluid, and you should always question what is going on and seek truth. Now, that doesn't mean to be a crazy conspiracist and say that there's something behind every single door, but I don't trust the hands that this information has gone through over decades when you're talking about all these declassified files now that have been classified, or even the Epstein files. You never know what has been removed or potentially even added. And so it's really difficult to find the absolute truth when there's been so many years of darkness that this information has been hidden in.
I know it is a complicated situation, and I think any transparency is good, but this is very sensitive stuff, so it's not going to just be like, here's 1,000 images of whatever you guys want to see. So I'm hoping.
Right, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not what we expect.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself.